Tonight, a troubling and tragic trend.
The amount of collisions we had this past week is definitely concerning.
Mounties urge drivers to slow down after a series of fatal crashes on Manitoba highways. Also tonight, overdose overwatch.
We hope to, of course, save lives, help the frontline responders.
More details on a pilot project aiming to save lives in downtown Winnipeg and why staffing could be an issue. And later, how one school division is celebrating its graduating classes with a massive powwow.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Taylor Brock.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Daniel Halmerson. For the second straight night, tornado warnings were issued for parts of our province. Environment and Climate Change Canada first issued a red tornado warning around 6:30 this evening for areas including the RMs of Roland and Morris, and later expanded it to the RMs of McDonald and de Salaberry. That warning was lifted just after 8 p.m. Then a second warning was issued around 8:40 for the RM of Hanover, which covers the area of Steinbach, Niverville, and Grunthal. It was lifted shortly after 9 p.m. Environment and Climate Change Canada meteorologists tell CTV News no touchdowns have been reported so far tonight. RCMP are pleading with drivers to slow down tonight on Manitoba highways. It comes amid a tragic trend of deadly crashes. In just the past few days, fatal crashes have been reported in or near Brandon, Roblin, and Garson. 2 people were killed in a crash near Arborg Friday, and most recently a Manitoba man died just over the border near Rush Bay, Ontario. CTV's Joseph Bernacki has more, and a warning tonight, some of these images and videos could be disturbing.
I almost missed that.
Winnipeg's Shane Young says he very easily could have died in this fiery crash on the Trans-Canada Highway Tuesday, just west of Kenora.
I keep thinking, if it was me in front, what would have happened? Thinking all sorts of things. I'm like, I'd be dead instantly, so I wouldn't have felt it.
Young was returning to Winnipeg from Kenora early Tuesday afternoon. What was supposed to be a leisurely drive home turned into a nightmare behind the wheel. About 100 yards ahead of him on the highway, Young watched a small car and semi-truck collide in front of him.
A huge explosion, big fireball, unbelievable.
Ontario Provincial Police say a 32-year-old male from Winnipeg was killed. And this wasn't the only serious collision on the roads that day. Tuesday near St. Anne, RCMP say 4 people were taken to hospital at the corner of Highway 12 and Provincial Road 210.
It's a very dangerous crossing. We go there multiple times a year, and sometimes multiple times a month even.
RCMP say the number of collisions and fatalities over the past week are concerning.
This year, from January to the end of May, we've had 23 fatal collisions, which is the same number as we had last year at this time. This year, though, we have 27 deaths, but last year we had 24 deaths at this time.
The RCMP is reminding drivers to slow down and follow the rules of the road. Last year, RCMP say there were 63 fatal collisions and 69 total deaths. Shane Young is grateful he got home safe Tuesday.
Everyone that knows me, I always say every day above ground is a good day. And today's one of those days.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
CTV News has reached out to Manitoba Public Insurance for additional information on collision statistics reported this year. We're still waiting for a response. A warning about a convicted sex offender released from custody who's expected to live in Winnipeg. 44-year-old Glenn Gregory Tyler Posniak was released from a prison in Alberta today on statutory release after being sentenced to 13 years for sexual exploitation, sexual interference, and child pornography charges. Authorities say he's completed some sex offender programming in custody, but is still considered a high risk to reoffend. Boys and male youth are considered at risk. Anyone with information about Posniak is asked to call one of the numbers on your screen. Concerns tonight over possible funding cuts to groups helping a vulnerable population. At risk is work addressing the 231 calls to justice stemming from the national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Federally funded initiatives are seeing support cut in half after peaking at $3.7 billion in 2024-25 to $1.8 billion this fiscal year. This is according to a joint report from the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives and the National Family and Survivor Circle. The Survivor Circle is worried about the impact this will have on people's lives.
The calls for justice are built on inherent and human rights of Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit and gender diverse people, and should never be on political agendas. That there should be long-term, substantive commitments made to ensuring that they're fully implemented and that it's a whole of government approach.
A statement from Crown Indigenous Affairs says federal-led initiatives made progress on 163 of the calls to justice this year. It also pointed to other support such as funding anti-racism medical training, new transitional homes, and Indigenous-led justice programs. A new report paints a complicated picture of incidents at the city's largest library so far this year. Data shows the total number of incidents at Millennium Library, which includes everything from medical events, harassment, and vandalism, are down 35% in the first quarter compared to 2025. But the Public Service notes this could be due to a combination of factors. The number of total visitors dropped 15.5%, buses are no longer traveling down Graham Avenue, and the library began barring people from entering if they've been involved in repeated incidents. And even though there were fewer people and fewer incidents overall, the number of calls to police rose from 13 last year to 35. The report will be presented at the next Community Services meeting Tuesday. As we told you last night, the province is paying for a team of mobile paramedics to respond to drug overdoses in Winnipeg's inner city. The $800,000 pilot project starts this month, but as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, there are questions as to how this will be staffed as paramedics are already having trouble keeping up.
On North Main Street, some carry around naloxone to save people from overdosing, but they're not trained healthcare professionals. Now, a new team of mobile paramedics will respond to overdose calls in high-demand areas.
We hope to, of course, save lives, help the frontline responders.
The province is spending $800,000 on a pilot project with the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service. Starting this month, a dedicated two-person paramedic team will be available 24/7 to respond to overdoses in the downtown area. This includes shelters.
This is in response to what the community put forward. They said this would help alleviate the number of calls for service.
Mayor Scott Gillingham and the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service say the drug crisis has put a strain on both paramedics and firefighters. The belief is this new unit could free up a lot of them.
We've had some responders report that they responded up to 6 times for the same individual in one day.
But staffing the new unit could be an issue. In a news release, Gillingham says he supports the goal of getting medical care faster to those struggling with drugs to reduce the pressure on shelter workers and emergency personnel. But Gillingham and the fire paramedic chief have been calling on the province to add 8 more ambulances and dozens more paramedics to city streets to deal with shortages and stubborn wait times. Any dedicated service unit can and will only be staffed after regular citywide ambulance shifts are fully covered, said Gillingham.
Last year we announced 16 paramedic seats. This year another 32. We're continuing to recruit.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Winnipeg School Division is celebrating the achievements of its graduating students. Each high school was announced as they entered the graduation powwow at Canada Life Centre. Around 2,500 people took part. The division has hosted a powwow for several years with students from grade 1 to 12, but this was the first time it was held indoors.
But we focused this year on the grade 12s, the graduates, the high schools, because last year we had to cancel because of the forest fires. So that's why we made the shift to indoors.
Each graduate donned a stole over their shoulders. Red were for Indigenous grads, while allies wore yellow. And 3 big drums from different high schools also joined the celebration for the first time. Here's our first look at tonight's weather. 16 degrees outside in Winnipeg right now under mainly clear skies. Light winds out of the east at 6 kilometers per hour. The pressure's dropping, the humidity sitting at 97%. Now, we did have a severe thunderstorm watch from Environment and Climate Change Canada across much of south central Manitoba tonight. Still exists in the the southeast pocket of the province around Reynolds, as well as a little bit of Altona. Something to keep an eye on. Meteorologists do tell me that that watch should end in the coming hours. Tonight here in Winnipeg, dipping to 15, just below what we're at right now. Fog patches are possible with those winds out of the southwest at 15 kilometers per hour. Waking up tomorrow to mostly cloudy skies, those winds remaining the same, around 16 degrees as well. I'll have your complete Skywatch forecast coming up.
Hey, Lumi. What a beautiful animal.
Coming up, we check in with Assiniboine Park Zoo's newest ambassador. Seeding is nearing completion across Manitoba, but it's still lagging behind previous years. As of Tuesday, the province says seeding was 71% complete. On average, over the past 5 years, seeding is typically 85% finished by this time of the year. There's some variation across the province. For example, parts of the northwest region are said to be too wet to seed, while areas in central and eastern Manitoba have received little to no rain at all. The province also notes feed supplies are dwindling in some regions, prompting some producers to already begin securing feed purchases for later this year. A Winnipeg City Council committee is being asked to approve a donation agreement for expired turnout fire gear. Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service gear such as boots, helmets and coveralls is considered beyond its useful life after 10 years. It previously has been cleaned and disposed of. Now the Public Service is recommending the gear and surplus educational materials be donated to Firefighters Without Borders Canada for use in countries and regions with demonstrated need. The agreement would be effective until May 2036 and would release the city from liability. The Community Services Committee will review the recommendation Tuesday. A man is hoping an unusual legal move will help unmask his cyberbully or bullies. Last week, a lawsuit was filed by Matthew Flitzfetter, a rhetoric and communications professor at the University of Winnipeg. It alleges he's been the target of a slew of humiliating social media posts, including fabricated statements, digitally manipulated videos, and vulgar impersonations. The suit says at least 7 Instagram accounts and 1 account on X were using the professor's likeness to post the content between June and December last year. To find out who's really behind the accounts, the professor is suing X and Meta, Instagram's parent company, as well as 2 anonymous defendants. Flitzfetter is hoping this will force the social media giants to identify the account's creator or creators. None of the allegations have been tested in court, and no statements of defense have been filed yet. Now, we're all aware of the dangers social media poses for children. Many parents are looking for ways to keep their kids safe while also allowing them to access the benefits of technology. And as CTV's Kimberly Johnson reports, a mother in Ottawa says she's found a solution.
What Teo Knight loves about his cell phone is being able to listen to his favorite music.
I just need headphones in my phone just to listen to my own music.
And while this Android phone may seem like any other, it's actually set up in a way that limits his access to certain content. No social media, no app store, and no internet browser. Just the ability to call, text, and access Spotify.
We want them to have access to music. We want them to be able to text us when soccer practice ends early. That doesn't mean that we want them watching endless videos off by themselves, kind of thing.
He has a playlist that's for like his before soccer that pumps him up.
It's part of a pilot project started by parent Anne Fizette, which she has dubbed Boom Track.
I was just trying to figure out how can I create something that would satisfy him and what he needs in terms of like the developmental milestones that he's hitting, and at the same time protect him.
She purchased an Android phone and when setting it up used a management device on her computer to control what gets placed on the phone. It's similar to what workplaces will put on employees' phones to restrict some apps or abilities.
This isn't something incredibly new. It's just we haven't used it in terms of for kids.
Still, one tech expert warns the smartphone technology still exists under the surface of the phone, and parents should be cautious.
Any tech-savvy kid can go online and figure out how to bypass them and regain access to app stores and browsers and other features.
Today, Fizette says that she has nearly a dozen parents participating in the project. She's currently covering all of the setup costs, but hopes to expand this to a business if there's enough interest.
It feels like I'm actually part of everything and I'm not missing anything.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
A River Heights area high school is getting a new gym. The Winnipeg School Division is seeking a contractor to build an addition to Kelvin High School's gymnasium. It would be located in the field next to the existing building and would attach to the 2017 addition. The plan includes 2 change rooms, showers, a lobby, along with storage and office areas. A letter within the proposal also mentions the installation of a rubberized surface to the existing track and new goalposts for the field. The province committed money for design work on the project in last year's budget. The deadline for applications is June 26th. Wildlife Haven Rehabilitation Centre is getting some major upgrades. The Manitoba government is allocating $650,000 to the nonprofit. The goal is to modernize its infrastructure and expand the organization's capacity to care for injured and orphaned wildlife. Repairs to its main building and raptor enclosure, as well as safety upgrades, are all part of the plan. There will also be 2 new enclosures for outdoor aquatic mammals and waterfowl. And it's not the only animal-based location receiving money for facility improvements. Assiniboine Park is getting $5 million for a new animal care center and rehabilitation infrastructure. And speaking of the partnership, Assiniboine Park Zoo is welcoming its newest ambassador.
Hey, Lumi. What a beautiful animal.
This curious cat is Lumi the lynx, and as you can see, she's taking to her new surroundings quite well. Lumi was brought to Wildlife Haven as an orphaned kitty this past spring. Today, the little lynx was brought to her forever home at the zoo. You can visit Lumi and learn about what it took to rescue her at Assiniboine Park Zoo. Well, get ready to feel the beat, how an electronic music festival is heating up the dance floor this week in Winnipeg. And we'll have your complete Skywatch forecast when we return. Our first Skywatch pick of the day comes from my good friend Glenn up in Gimli. This was a couple nights ago. We've seen a lot of darker clouds since then, but beautiful sunset there. And our second one, speaking of some ominous clouds, this was from Carly. She took this on the north perimeter a little earlier tonight. We saw some rain. We saw some lightning. It was an interesting evening yet again in southern Manitoba. This is the last 12 hours. I'll start here on the east side. You can see that rolling through northwest Ontario, but a lot of the action happened here. Coming once again from the States, moving through parts of south and central Manitoba. I mentioned those tornado warnings earlier, and most of south central Manitoba was under those severe thunderstorm watches as well. And yeah, an exciting night. And hopefully, though, well, that's enough for now. We'll get a little more normal weather the next couple of nights, but taking a look at the future cast, that system's kind of rolling around parts of central Manitoba tonight. We could see some more rain heading into Thursday in parts of the north, as well as some scattered showers here in parts of south central Manitoba. Cloudy out in Brandon and the surrounding area. And that's going to continue into Thursday night, rolling into Ontario, leaving behind some pretty cloudy skies, but not as much rain in the forecast as we move towards the weekend. Cloudy on Friday in the south, a little clearer up in northern Manitoba Friday afternoon before clearing out relatively into Friday night. And looking forward to the weekend ahead. I'll have that 7-day forecast coming up in just a minute. Taking a look around the province tonight, cloudy in Island Lake, dipping down to 6. Dipping down to 5 in Churchill under mainly clear skies, getting up to 17 there tomorrow with sun, but a lot of wind as well. Thompson up to 20 tomorrow. In the northwest, we're looking at 7 degrees in the Paw. Chance of some rain tonight in Norway House as well. 10 degrees in Lynn Lake tomorrow under mainly cloudy skies. A little bit more sunshine in Flin Flon with a high of 20. To our west out in Brandon tonight, and Neepawa and Dauphin, the chance of some fog. Temperatures hovering around 10. 16 tomorrow in Swan River under mainly cloudy skies. Chance of some more showers in Brandon and Neepawa. Here in Winnipeg and the surrounding areas, temperatures in the mid-teens tonight. Chance of some rain and risk of thunderstorms to our east out in Pinawa and Sprague. Tomorrow, though, getting up to 20 here in Winnipeg, much the same around the rest of the region. Still a chance of some rain, and just over the border in Ontario, chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms tonight throughout the region. Getting up into the mid-20s tomorrow, much of the same, risk of thunderstorms. Enter a 7-day forecast. Now Thursday here in Winnipeg, chance of showers, high of 20. Mostly cloudy Friday with a high of 19, but then the temperature soar all the way up to 29 on Saturday with lots of sunshine. 30 on Sunday, though a chance of showers, and much of the same on Monday. And get ready to hear the bass drop. The Manitoba Electronic Music Exhibition is returning for its 17th edition this week. Also known as MEME, it highlights local and international electronic musicians using the latest creative technology. The event covers a broad range of music, including house, techno, deep dub, and even experimental sounds.
You know, it's funny, we're, a bit of an underground scene, but we kind of cross between, it's a party, it's an arts festival, we do workshops, and we're really excited this year. It looks to be our biggest year yet.
Well, you can catch the action at venues all across the city starting tomorrow with a discussion about the impact of electronic music at Graffiti Gallery at 7 p.m. on Saturday. There will also be a free party at the Cube in Old Market Square from 1 to midnight. For all ticket information, head to memetic.ca.
I found so many beavers and they're so cute.
It's Canada's national animal, but the beaver is being shared with the globe for the FIFA World Cup. That story next. A unique scavenger hunt is taking place in Toronto ahead of the World Cup. The goal? To find 51 beaver sculptures, each designed by an artist to represent the countries taking part in the tournament. CTV's Raheem Ladani has more on the Great Beaver Quest.
Old Town Toronto often feels like a fairy tale. Maybe it's the playful dogs or the ever-still birds trying not to draw a cat's attention. And now this Narnia-like neighborhood has a new inhabitant.
I found so many beavers and they're so cute.
Not one or two or even three, but 51 beavers have ditched their dams for this urban oasis, representing nations competing in the upcoming FIFA World Cup.
I think it's a great opportunity for folks to get out there and see parts of Toronto, even if they live here.
The quirky rodents are part of a scavenger hunt put on by the Old Town Toronto BIA. Anyone can download the Great Canadian Beaver Quest app.
It's like keeping me from not being bored. It's giving me something to do when I'm walking around.
The more beavers you find and snap pics with, the greater chance you have of winning gift cards from local businesses.
I think the city trying to expand that zone of influence and keep it not just in that Liberty Village kind of area and make it a citywide thing. That's exciting.
Each lifelike sculpture is hand-painted by a local artist. This beaver is immersed within a Tunisian living landscape. The colors drawn from Tunisia's foliage and national identity.
It really shines the light on Toronto's amazing artistic scene and the amazing talent that we have across the GTA.
This contest closes on August 16th. After that, these beavers are going to be auctioned off, with the funds going towards a local charity. Raheem Ladani, CTV News, Old City, Toronto.
Still to come, a patriotic landmark unfurls over the Vancouver skyline. And we'll break down tomorrow's forecast next.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&Teak Spa Salon.
Getting up to around 20 degrees tomorrow afternoon, but a chance of showers with winds out of the northwest gusting to 40. A new landmark is now part of the Vancouver skyline, and the people behind it are hoping it will soon be recognized by Guinness World Records. This giant Canadian flag is on display at Grouse Mountain. The resort says it's the largest flag ever set up on a mountain in Canada. It was installed as part of an effort to welcome visitors ahead of the FIFA World Cup and is roughly the size of 2 football fields. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here really soon. Good night.